The Arias, Tuesday.
For 41 years, rock band U2 has had us singing and thinking. The Irish supergroup almost as well known for its politics as for its countless hits. Bono, The Edge, Larry Mullen and Adam Clayton were just teenagers in Dublin when they formed their rock band in 1976 to avoid the bleak prospect of unemployment. As they say, the rest is history. But when I recently sat down with them in Brazil, I found a group not prepared to live off the success of their past. Next week, U2 will release their 14th album, Songs of Experience, and they seem just as hungry and as joyfully defiant now as they ever have. And they let me in on a little secret. After a 7-year absence, U2 could be on their way here next year. It's still many hours before concert time, and even the blistering heat of a Sao Paulo summer's day does nothing to dissuade these passionate U2 fans. When Bono finally emerges, he's the coolest thing they've ever seen.
Aren't they amazing?
I don't think they like you.
They're just sexy people. It's quite a feeling. And, you know, they're Latin people. And I think the Irish have a little bit of, we're like Latin people who can't dance. So.
At least you can sing.
Yeah, we can sing. We can sing.
Sing, they certainly can. U2 remains one of the biggest rock bands on the planet, selling out stadium shows wherever they go. Their current tour of 10 months is a celebration of their 30-year-old career-defining Joshua Tree album. They've played to nearly 2.5 million people on this tour alone. And while it's meant to end here in Brazil, Bono and lead guitarist The Edge raise the tantalising prospect of touring Australia next year.
Unfortunately, it's partly the distance and all that stuff, but we absolutely are coming.
We want to go, and we really do. And if there's any way we can, we will.
You're God.
But I'm Norma's only son. I don't want to. I don't be pedantic. And he's the Holy Spirit.
What we're really here to talk about as we settle in for our chat.
Quiet on the set, please.
I hope that wasn't an Australian accent.
No, I was trying to do Wimbledon.
Yes.
Quiet, please.
Is U2's new album, Songs of Experience, a companion album to their 2014 Songs of Innocence. You describe the songs as letters. Who are the letters to, and why would you describe them in that way? So it almost sounds like a farewell.
I was just in a position where, on this album, I'd had a few incidents that made me think, wow, I don't know. If I just need to put my feelings on record, this better really count. Because there's a lot of U2 albums out there. Why would anyone want another one?
Is that what you think? Why would anyone want another?
Well, we ask ourselves that question every time we make an album because, you know, you don't want to just put out a pile of songs with the expectation that just because you think they're good, everyone else is going to think they're fascinating as well. We're very critical of the work, always have been.
Along with the hits, Bono is almost as famous for being political, using his star power with both left and right-wing leaders to fight against world hunger and AIDS, and to campaign for third world debt relief. In the climate of Brexit and the election of Donald Trump, Songs of Experience, like so many U2 albums, has its say. Would you work with Donald Trump, as you did with Bush and Clinton in the past?
It's a really strange thing if you can't really believe what comes out of the mouth of supposedly the leader of the free world. But does anyone? I mean, really, does his own staff believe him when he speaks? So it's a chronic situation.
But in Brazil, it's all about the music. Adam Clayton is the band's bass guitarist.
How are you?
And Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer.
Good to see you.
Without Larry, there may never have been a U2. It was he who, at 16, posted an ad at school looking for bandmates.
I spotted Adam and Bono early on in the looking for fellow journeymen. And even in school, Bono had a reputation for being the loudest, most aggressive, don't mean physically, but the biggest personality in the school. So nothing really has changed.
I like the fact the reputation was not that he was the best musician in
never.
the school,
No.
or the best singer.
No, that was not the reputation. He with the loudest voice, I think, is the saying.
At 57, looking through the telescope of experience, Bono says he had to be noisy to survive in the house he shared with his father and brother.
My mother died when we were a kid, so there was maybe 3 Irish men living in a tiny house screaming at each other for most of my childhood. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure I was a pain in the ass.
You have said about that period that your home became a house with the death of your mother, and there were 3 men trying to kill each other. Mm. It sounds very dire.
Yeah, I mean, our house is just so warm. It's full of laughs. You know, Edges is the same. We've just got an easier ride. But I've got my macho thing that I'm sure I've got to deal with, but it's just different from my dad's era, I think. You know.
Stage of your careers, doing what you're doing.
It's gone really serious all of a sudden. We're having such a laugh.
At this stage of our careers, well, what about this stage?
I'll say it with a lilt in my voice. At this stage in your careers.
That's fine, it's much better.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Are you having fun?
The answer is yes. Actually.
You've gone all serious now.
Yeah, no, it is a yes.
It seems like everything else would seem dull in comparison. Somehow we get to do the things that we kind of shouldn't really be doing, you know, which is still be making records, still be playing these big tours and having fun.
What do you think will drive you apart?
Still doing these big tours, still making records and having fun.
I understand you're taking me to the engine room.
Yes. Well, this, I mean, for some people this is a fascinating insight because the show itself is super high-tech.
In contrast, Edge's engine room is like stepping back in time.
We got visitors.
Here under the stage, ready for tonight's concert, are his 1950s analogue amplifiers and vintage guitars, each responsible for the unique sound behind a particular song.
Like this one, I remember buying this. I've had this now for about 25 years, and I picked it up and started playing it, and I was like, wow, this is just so musical. It's such a beautiful tone, and a lot of great songs have been recorded with this guitar, from Mysterious Ways to Even Better Than the Real Thing.
Yeah. The Real Thing, tonight's show, is not far off. And if you look out this little window, that's where the crowd is gathering.
Yeah.
After all these years, how do you feel about going on stage?
It's back in the early days, it was kind of a white knuckle ride. It was a kind of, are we going to get through the show and it not be no wipeouts or problems? These days, I think we actually can enjoy it.
And these days, on strict orders from Ali, his wife of 35 years, and their 4 children, Bono is trying hard, God forbid, to be more mortal.
He kind of joined a rock and roll band to avoid growing up. And I'm definitely one of those. And I think I've just recently learned that I'm not, say, for example, indestructible. And I think I've just realized I've got to maybe take a different approach to life. So I have been researching things to do that are more, more of a sound mind. And I'm...
Are you enjoying them as much as of the unsound mind?
Yeah, I enjoy my family, and I'm pretty well behaved when I'm at home. It's just when I would get out, I would, forget to go to bed and stuff. No, I don't. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I just need to be cleverer about how
It's all about balance.
I
really,
work.
isn't it?
I just work a lot.
Well, it used to be work and fun. That was what the driving motivation used to be for you. Is it still that, work and fun?
Yeah, I used to say I want to change the world and have fun, and they shouldn't be mutually exclusive. And I seem to have most of the fun now is on stage. And then, Ali said to me, you need a hobby. So I took up investing. And I did very well at that. But she said, that's not a hobby. And I said, what do you want to do? Play golf? And we made a pact that we would never play golf because both of our parents played golf. And it's the only thing you can be fired from you two is playing golf. But there's been no visual evidence because he would split up the band.
Have you considered bridge?
I played chess as a kid a lot. That was my passion.
Yeah. I could see you play bridge. I'd say you'd be pretty good.
Okay.
But tonight, it's all about rock and roll.
Come with us?
As they prepare to play to 80,000 screaming fans.
Slightly terrifying moment.
Slightly terrifying, even after all these years?
Yeah. Sometimes it's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's like walking into your front room, and other times it's just not.
I hope it is tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Good luck. The crowd loves all they hear. The enduring sounds of Joshua Tree and the new from Songs of Experience. The thrill for these veterans of rock is still obvious. The boys from Dublin still pinching themselves.
You couldn't write this shit, seriously. I mean, you couldn't write it. I mean, it is pretty unusual, bizarre, and comedic.
And you're living it.
And we are actually living it. Yeah, it's real. No, touch that. It's real. Yeah.
You're real.
Yeah, you really need a Bono in your band if you want to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And Bono still happily leads them. His joyful defiance as strong as ever.
Let's find out what we've got after however many years we've been together, and let's just make that record. I'm with the people who are fighting back. That's why I like dance music, I like hip-hop. I like that music, not the surrender to, the sort of drowning, crying into your beer music. That would not be for us.
No so way. If you're putting everything that you've got out there, are you happy with what you've got? Are you proud of where you are today?
That's right. If there's no other release from you two, very happy with that.
Definitely.
Coming up,
I'm a fella who's been everywhere, man.
meet the queen of the desert.
I don't actually know what I'm doing.
You're a kind of a modern-day swaggy or a tinker or a minstrel.
Why she's bridging the great divide between city
You know, always about the money, always about working harder.
and bush.
You love it, don't you?
I do. I do. I'm so passionate about it.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
This information comes from a secret police report.
Underbelly's most violent gangster. The untold story of Dino Dibra. Next on 9.
Australia's POKIE thief caught in the act. This low-life bandit cashed out the jackpot of a fellow punter, robbed him blind, and did a runner. But we tracked him down.
Dominic.
Plus, our bill-busting bonanza. Simple tips to save your family thousands.
This is free money.
A current affair Monday.
At Best & Less, your favourite character PJs and tees are guaranteed to be a Christmas favourite. And right now, character tees are only $8 and character PJ sets are just $12, so you're guaranteed to have your gifting sorted. That's